Hello and welcome to this video series on an introduction to Mathematica. In this series, we're going to talk about what is Mathematica, where to download Mathematica and obtain a license from American University, a basic introduction to the key functions and commands of Mathematica, using the built-in key functions, solving algebraic and calculus operations, performing matrix operations, and managing data. This is video 1 of a 3-part series. In video 1, we're going to go over what is Mathematica, how to download Mathematica and obtain a license through American University, and talk about the Mathematica environment, specifically the tabs and the different features. So the first step is going to be accessing Mathematica. American University provides all students with free access to Mathematica. So the easiest way to be able to use Mathematica is to download a version of this. If you go to american.edu/cas/tech/mathematica.cfm, this has all the information on Mathematica. If you scroll down, if you are faculty and staff, there is a form to fill out in order to get a home use license from Wolfram. If you're a student, you can also download this on a personally owned computer as well. The first step is going to be creating an account if you're a new user, and then you have to fill out this additional form to obtain a license key. So what I'm going to first do is we're going to open up the tab. And if you don't have a Wolfram ID, go ahead and you can create one. Fill out the corresponding information, agree to the services, and create a Wolfram ID. Now, I already have one, so I'm going to go ahead and let me go ahead and duplicate this because we need to come back to this later. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out my name. This is going to be a different password than your AU password. And I'll go ahead and sign in. Let me go ahead and minimize these. Let me go back to the CAS. So once you've created an account, you'll want to fill out the survey. You'll enter in your specific information that you'd want a Mathematica for sites. You will want to use a single machine, and 12.1.1.0 is the newest version. If you want to use an older version, you can also do that too. Once you've completed that, it may take a little bit of time for it to process, but you'll receive an information with the license link. Once you get that, log back into the system. And there's my license information there. You can go to Get Downloads. And then depending on your operating system, you can either use, if you're using a Mac, click on the download option, or Windows. There's also the specific activation keys that's assigned. You would want to copy this, and then go ahead, as you go through the instructions, you go ahead and open this up so it's in a new tab. Let's say we're doing Mathematica for Windows, and it walks through all the steps for that. So you launch it, and then once you've installed it, you can add in the additional script if you'd like. And then it'll ask you for the license key, and then you would go ahead and paste that license key and activate it. And then you have Wolfram installed. Great. So the basic type of file within Mathematica is called a notebook. It's an extension of a .nb file type. However, Mathematica output can be saved in multiple forms such as PDF, LaTeX, HTML, and so forth. A Mathematica notebook is very versatile, and its dynamic file type allows for both textual and mathematical content. Users can design ornate typeset presentations using rich editing capabilities of the notebook, which includes titles, subtitles, bullets, sections, and multiple font family types. I'm going to go ahead and on my desktop, I have a copy of the sample dataset and the introduction notebook. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on the Introduction to Mathematica.nb, which is included in the workshop materials using the Google Drive link. So we see our titles, our subtitles, information, as well as the input commands. Each notebook is composed of multiple cells. A cell is designed to be a self-contained unit. There are two basic types of cells, math cells and text cells. Users are encouraged to type all text cells like titles, e.g. Homework 10 or Report 5, the authors, the dates, and paragraphs of explanations in the text cells. All of the mathematical content, like 5 plus 6, 8 times 9, these are going to be included within a mathematical content of mathematical input cells or math cells. Each cell is delineated by a horizontal line, which is visible. What we're going to do first, though, is right now we're in slideshow mode. I'm going to go to Format, click on Screen Environment, and change it from slideshow to working. So it's changed a little bit. Now if we hover over the vertical line, there's a little plus all the way at the left-hand side. You can click on that, and you can tell it what type of cell. If it's going to be free form, so you can use that for different mathematical properties. There's also the plain text. So I do free form. There's the equal sign. I could do 10 plus 5. And if I press Shift Return or Shift Enter, now we don't want to run the whole thing. But now it's input and it's figured out, okay, it's a math cell. And now we have our output that corresponds with it. So that plus sign, whenever you hold over it, there's some of the different options, and you can go ahead and add a new cell type and include information from there. Now, some of the rich properties of text cells can be explored using the Format menu. So we have different face, we have different size, text color, background color, and so forth. In addition, the Format menu has quite a few features that will make your notebook look professional. There's also like the Style Sheet option. It could be an article, book, presenter tools, report, slideshow, and so forth. So it's highly customizable. Mathematical operations are done in Mathematica in the input or math cells. The easiest way to evaluate an expression, like we already did, is to type into a cell. We can also make this a bit more complex. I'm going to add parentheses times 2. So to run this, I'm going to go ahead and press Shift Enter. And now we have the corresponding output. This will result in the creation of a new cell, which is our output cell. You should keep in mind that simply pressing Enter does not evaluate an expression, nor does it move the cursor into another cell. Instead, press Enter moves the cursor to a new line within the same cell. This means that several expressions can reside within the same cell, and Shift plus Enter will evaluate all of them. This feature is sometimes useful for more complex operations. So now we'll talk a little bit about the different Mathematica tabs. The File tab allows you to create new documents, exports output into various formats, save and print Mathematica output. So if I wanted to do File, Save As, I'm going to go ahead and save this as a PDF. I'm going to minimize Mathematica. And now I'm waiting for it to finish compiling. Here is the PDF document that we just created that has all the information. We can also save this as a LaTeX document. So if you go to File, Save As, there's RTF, there's LaTeX document, plain text. You can also save it as an HTML page too. So if you're using LaTeX, you can go ahead and save it there. And go from there. And now we have, let me go ahead and minimize this. Now we have, I'm using TextMaker as my LaTeX distribution, but now we have that as a tex file. Another option is the edit option. This allows some different features, such as some different preferences. So we click on that. You can change the language. You can change closed captioning. There's also different appearances, some debugging, how you want errors to be shown as well, and some advanced features too. In the Format tab, which we talked about briefly, this allows you to format the document to your liking. So if you want to add a title page, section, subsection, you can also use the Format tab to make changes in the font size and color of your notebook. Let me go ahead and change that back. We'll leave it as magenta for now. Great. So what we can also do is there's also the palettes option here too. This allows shortcuts for users to conveniently write equations, mathematical functions, and edit your notebook. There's the Classroom Assistant. This will open up a separate tab which has a variety of different options. This is a graphical user interface to the most popular features of Mathematica, including mathematical operations, navigations within the document, some basic commands, so numeric, elementary functions, trigonometry, integers, also random functions too. There's writing, so different cells, how to modify them, different typesetting, and so forth. There's the basic calculator as well as advanced functions too. This concludes video 1 of the Introduction to Mathematica. In the next video, we're going to go over the basics of the Mathematica language. We'll see you in the next video.